Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Mosh Pit Metal. It's our first. I'm keeping this in too.
Return full YouTube mode the moment the camera came on.
YouTube mode. Not like I've been YouTube for 4 or 5 years now. I enough know it.
No,
Yeah,
nothing like that.
Welcome to Mosh Pit Metal, guys. So if you're new to this is completely our first video that's coming out. This is our first ever metal podcast. We're talking about news podcasts as well we'll be reviewing albums, going over some history with metal, doing a lot of things, and of course the traditional new metal poses.
The traditional new metal poses.
My name is Mason. I'm joined here today with my buddy Wes. He is the co-owner, the co-host of Mosh Pit Metal.
Really the owner.
Really the owner. 50-50.
Really like 60-40.
60-40. So in these podcasts and stuff, so the whole point of our podcast is we like to talk about metal news. We like to go over albums that do span for about and the entire length of whatever band has produced. Like, let's say a band has done eight albums, there'll be like a video a week, and our podcasts are going to be going over those albums and songs within those, as well as other stuff too. So we're not just talking about the albums. There'll be other stuff to take in here. A lot of good things to digest. We'll be going over a lot of things, especially today. But really, so far, we just want to introduce you to the podcast. We want to get everyone at least associated for what's going on. What is the feel of this podcast? What is this? Why are you guys doing this to begin with? Well, let's keep it short and simple. I've loved metal music. I have been a big fan of metal music my entire life. I was born into it. I grew up around it. My first album I got when I was, I think, 6 or 7 years old was a Rob Zombie album. So I'm very acquainted with metal music, and I've always been throughout my whole life. And Wes, on the other hand, is a little bit of a newbie because I got him into
I didn't start listening to metal music really. Like I had listened to a tiny bit of Avenged Sevenfold in 2020. And I didn't really start getting into it until 2022. But it is quickly becoming one of my new favorite genres. I like to say that there's not a bad genre out there. I just haven't found what I like in every single genre yet. But metal has really opened my eyes to a lot of new interesting music, stuff that I'm bopping every single day. I can't remember the last day that I went without listening to metal music. So I'm getting into it. I don't know any of the classics really a lot yet, but I'm slowly getting there.
So the thing about this podcast in particular is that this is an entirely subjective podcast. This is not objective. This is our opinions. And our opinions, you probably may not like, you probably may agree with, whatever is the case. We just ask it that this is a chill environment. Our entire podcast here is entirely interactive, so anyone in the comments who feels free, if you want to suggest a band, an album, if you want us to talk about something, it's entirely a community-based thing. So anyone is more frequently welcome to just openly talk to us about anything. If we get enough people who are actually in this community as it is, if we do build one, which we want to do, we are absolutely going to open up a Discord, and we're going to start doing a lot more things with that Discord and interacting with you guys and really getting audience members really involved with this podcast. That's one of the big things we want to do. We want to make sure that everyone here gets to know what we're talking about, our viewpoints on metal, and anything that you guys are interested in. That's basically the main thing that we really wanted to hit home.
And we got some ideas for other videos outside of podcast. We're gonna try doing one a week for right now. If that's too easy for us, we may go to 2 a week, but we're gonna try 1 a week for now. But we have some other videos planned. I know Mason wants to do some lore crafting with some more lore specific bands and stuff like that. I'm super into theatrical bands and stuff like that, so anything to do with masks and stuff like that I'm super into. You can thank Slipknot for that one.
Yeah,
and
I think theatrical bands are super overrated and lore based. I don't know what you're talking about, like, personally. I don't know anything about, like, lore based anything. It's not,
yeah.
I get.
Okay. So we got a bunch of videos planned outside of this, maybe some 10-20 minute videos to slap alongside the podcast stuff. So, but we got fun stuff planned. You can, at least for the foreseeable future, look out for us weekly. We'll post at least 1 a week.
At least.
And we totally won't get behind on that and eat these words.
later.
Oh.
We have real lives, but we want to do this as a full-time job. But also at the same time, I mean, you can tell by our camera qualities, we're not too worried about it right now. This is something that we enjoy. It's just this is a chill environment. So
We're here for the love of the
love of the
craft right
craft,
now.
love of the game, like love of the game,
Love of the sport,
love of
love
the
of the
sport.
sport.
If anyone genuinely, if this is your first time watching or watching us, if this is an older or newer viewer, you're welcome. Please, by all means, have fun. And I'd say let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and just crack down on some metal news because that's what we're here for, right? We're here for
All right,
talk of the
we're
talk.
here for metal news.
Metal news.
So I wanted to bring up something. Asen doesn't really know anything about what this is, but one of his favorite bands of all time is System of a Down. Legendary band, System of a Down. I mean, this band is so legendary. They recently just did a re-release, not a new merch drop, but a re-release, and it's almost sold out everywhere. Like, this band is still hot today, even though they haven't made an album since 2006. Like,
that's really like
people are here for System of a Down.
That's the thing about System of a Down. System of a Down really grasped a number of audience members because most people really knew about Chop Suey, but that wasn't always the case. People like looked at System of a Down more than just past that song. It's one of those bands that you can attribute one popular song, but they have such a deeper meaning to them, and they all of them, all the band members like genuinely actually have real passion behind making music. So that's why they've been so relevant even today as people listen to their music, because not only is it iconic, but the band members as they are is iconic. The whole band is iconic. That is one of the cornerstones of metal music, both within the 90s as well into the early 2000s, which is what they were also doing.
Yeah. And honestly, like, you can pick any one of their records and it's going to be solid. Like, they just know how to make music. I wish they made more music. Everyone does, but they had their time. They came out with awesome. Huh?
Can't get what you want all the time. That's the thing.
Yeah. Anyways, bringing it back to August 16th of 2023, we found out that Search Tankian had posted. I'm seeing him post on his Facebook. He may have posted it to Twitter or whatever as well. But he said that he reached out to the Imagine Dragons staff to try to get their attention because he saw that they had booked a show in. I apologize if I'm going to butcher these names so bad, but they booked a show for Baku, Azerbaijan. And Azerbaijan. Yep. Okay, I apologize in advance. I'm sorry. They had booked a show which is notorious for their dictatorial regime, which was starving 120,000 people in Nagorno-Karabakh, which is now being called a genocide. And so he's just like, hey, these are the people who are currently oppressing my group, my people, Armenians, right now, and they're planning a show there. And so he was saying that, quote, his whole life he had been an advocate for genocide recognition and have always said that there's a price to pay for genocidal regimes or deniers. Another genocide looming in Azerbaijan, and while this happens, they get to enjoy an American band from Las Vegas. And so he's basically saying, like, okay, why are they getting this show? Like, they're currently like being horrible people and stuff like that. And Serge Tankian basically was calling for them to stop the show or move it. I mean, not move it. He didn't want them to play there at all. And so he messaged the Imagine Dragons team, and Imagine Dragons denied, or not denied anything. They didn't even answer it. There was no response to him reaching out to their team. They didn't say anything back to him. And then he finally took it public to Facebook. And so Daniel Reynolds replied later saying that he didn't believe in depriving the fans who wanted to see us play because of the acts of their leaders and their governments. I think that's really a slippery slope. I think the second that you start to do that, there's corrupt leaders and warmongers all over the world. And where do we draw the line? So he was basically saying, like, hey, I mean, why are we going to deprive the fans that are kind of just, like, not a part of that at all. Like, they live in the country, they were born in the country, they don't have a choice whether they were born in the country, and they don't decide what the leaders do and stuff like that. So,
there was actually a similar situation that happened. I think in their early years as well. I believe that they boycotted a show in Turkey because they were talking
right,
about
right,
it.
I
Yeah,
forgot about it.
they
Yeah,
were talking about it, and I think it was Shavo did an interview, which you guys can find on YouTube, it's easily accessible, where he was talking about why they didn't play a Turkey, because it wasn't that they hated the people in Turkey, it was the government, because they never recognized the Armenian genocide that took place in 1911.
it was also something like they were like, hey, if we come to Turkey, we're gonna speak our mind, and we're gonna basically like say that there was a genocide, you guys committed genocide, blah blah blah. And the event organizers were like, okay, but you can't say that. And they were like, okay, well, we're not gonna do the show then, because if you're not going to let us speak our minds and you're not going to let us have free speech in your country, then we're not coming to your country.
Yeah, and that is, I understand the point of being able to speak your mind freely as well. That's completely understandable, especially with like the Imagine Dragons thing. I'm a little bit on the fence with both of that. And by the way, this whole podcast stuff is not meant to be political. We're not bringing up politics here. We don't want to bring up politics. This is not an environment for politics. We are just simply talking about metal and metal news. And this is one of the topics that we are discussing that it does involve politics, but however, we're not like side choosing.
We're not choosing a side here or
choosing.
anything. I'm just bringing back what Serge Tankian said and what Daniel Reynolds said. And if you do have an opinion on it, please post it down in the comments.
Yeah, we would absolutely love to hear what your guys' point of view would be on that, and always just be.
It is a very tricky situation. Like, should they be rewarded for their actions, or is it really like fair to sort of punish the people for living there, even if they don't have like a choice in all of that? And so it is kind of tricky.
I would say I give my opinion on it. I don't think people should do, like, bands should do that. Like, I get it, especially for Turkey. I get it for Azerbaijan being able to just not, you don't want to play for a country because of what they did. I get it. That's fine. I mean, it's not like any kind of metal band is going to go into North Korea and be able to play what they want there. It's just not going to work. Because there's it's really a touchy topic based on geopolitics. It just depends on the country and the rules that follow. So while I do get that, especially for like the Turkey instance, never acknowledging the genocide, being able to speak your mind freely, I get it. But at the sacrifice of the people who enjoy your actual music, and while they actually do enjoy the people who are from that country that do like the music, and I'm sure that's completely fine, I don't think that is, I think it's almost hypocritical to really think like that, speak your mind, and say what you want, yet deprive it from the fans. And I feel like if you really do want to bring people together, the last thing you want to do is boycott or not play in a country that you don't like because of the government leaders and the people who have no say in it at all. I don't think that's right. I think that's almost hypocritical, personally. But
but then again, this is System of a Down we're talking about. Every single one of their albums are baked in with mentions of the Armenian genocide and bringing it to light, and they are a very political band when it comes to stuff like that, trying to spread awareness. And this is exactly something that I would expect System of a Down to do, especially since the last time they did release music, they came out of a very long, like 14-year highs to release two songs.
They released it back in like 2020, and this was when
That's what I'm saying, like 2006 to 2020.
It started. They released two songs, "Genocide of Humanoids" and "Protect the Land," because of the Azerbaijan invasion of Armenia, which sparked in 2020, and that was a really big difference point to where it set off them to make music. And I'm like, that is very incredible. I think that's great that they decided to do that. I think that is wonderful that they really wanted to take that and put it into music and creating music. But the problem with System of a Down is that they have this habit of splitting up. I mean, after their double release album back in 2006, I think 2005, also Mesmerized and Hypnotized, they did not make music up until that point again, because of the indifferences they had. I'm sure any System of a Down fan or anyone who does know knows what's going on with the band. They're not making music, they're not making albums, because of these indifferences that both the band members, Darren Malakian, John Damalian, and Shavo Adagian, have with Serge Tankian, whoever is the owner, what music direction they want to go with. There is a lot of confliction within the band as a result, and this also just happened again after Sick New World. And that's why.
Oh yeah, I was about to about to bring up the Sick New World bit, because Darren Malakian, while performing, or right before they performed, what was it? I can't remember the song exactly, but right before the intro to the song, they were like, "Hey, everybody who was like protesting at the college campuses and stuff about Palestine, where were you when he said, where were you when the children of Arstock were crying?" And he was like, "Hey, you guys only care about stuff when it's popular in the media, but you guys really don't care, because you're only doing this for like the approval of your friends and stuff like that." Is what he was getting at, is, or at least that was my interpretation of it.
Well, I think it was after that spark as well, and also just the back and forth and the bickering between Serge and them of like who's in control of the band, where does music want to go, the money. There's so many things that have that really. It really is hard to look at the band, and I would say the meaning of the music, when they have internal problems like this. Personally, while I'm happy that they're able to come together, especially for what was going on in our the Armenian thing with Azerbaijan, I think that was very great and nice, and it really breathed a fresh light into the band, as well as the fans of the band. Being able to wait that long just for new music again is just amazing to hear. And even though they're getting older, they still sound really good as what they are. And it's only a matter of time, but the problem is that these indifferences are really causing more problems, and it makes it really harder for the fans that you created, who listen to your music for more ways than one. And while I get it, I get the indifferences of who's right and who's wrong, I feel like differences need to be put aside in order to be able to make the music. Here's another example for your instance: Rage Against the Machine. They had a concert last year in 2023.
Rage Against the Machine.
And last year in 2023, I think Zach De La Roca broke his leg, like his ankle, twice this time. Like, he broke it one time in like 1999, I think. I don't know what was the incident. And then he did it again in 2023. And he still finished the concert, by the way, which is really admirable. But after that, they canceled, I think either canceled the rest of the tour, or they just said they're not going to do it any kind of music again. And this isn't the first time, because after their fourth release album, even before the fourth release album, they actually broke up and still decided to release that album. They were still on that hiatus because they had infighting, literal fist fights over the most mundane things, even like t-shirts, what a t-shirt designs look like. It was the most littlest of things that really broke them apart, because they had so much infighting. So I see it in bands like Rage Against the Machine, who did it twice now, by the way. I see it in bands like System of a Down, and it's like, your cause was bringing all four of you guys together to be able to make music with the political insight and passion behind it, which you guys do have. Yet here you are fighting amongst each other for something as so mundane as to what is not even on the grander scale of what you guys be doing. I feel like the broader spectrum of what your guys are talking about should be more valuable, and that should be the focus of what you guys want to do, if that's the music you're making it on. And having this infighting not only affects your fans, but affects you guys as well, and affects your legacy. It really does. I mean, like, look at a band like Gojira, for example. Gojira is very environmentalist based. A lot of their songs are about the environment. They care about the environment, all four of them, and they still have that passion about the environment even to this day when they still make music. And I feel like bands who hold on to not what makes them big, but more so what they're making the music about, really makes a successful band, more than what you can see with the infighting. Like, I get infighting is going to happen, don't get me wrong, but like, I think a lot of it needs to be curbed, and people need to start looking at, why did you guys come together, instead of the little things, you know?
Yeah, I think honestly, System of a Down, they've had their differences, and they want to. It's interesting because Serge Tankian actually said that he's posed to the other members that they should switch out for frontman, since he was very, very like adamant about not wanting to ever tour again due to some back-related issues and because of discourse within the band. But honestly, I think it's good for whoever they might have picked and for the rest of the band, because whoever they might have picked would have instantly become like one of the most hated people in the mainstream. Like they would have gotten like a non-stop just barrage of hate comments and death threats just because Serj Tankian decided to step down.
And I don't think that's a good idea. Like that, like I'm sorry, but you guys have already gotten to the point where you are now, and then after going on hiatus, you decide to pick a new band member to be your front man. That doesn't sound like it's going to work out the best. I mean, like imagine Tool and Francis Maynard Keener just decided to step away and just didn't make any Tool music anymore. Who the fuck would you get to replace Francis's voice? Who the fuck would you get to do his antics on stage? It doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't. It's not something you would realistically want to do, and it doesn't help. It doesn't help you as a business too. Like genuinely, like
yeah. After 18 years, they play some occasional shows. They released a few songs 4 years ago, but they've definitely like they're probably not going to release an album anytime soon. No. They're probably not going to go on tour anytime soon. I would be surprised if they did, honestly.
That's why they do like one shows in like LA every now and then.
Yeah, like they'll do a few LA shows a year, and that's pretty much it.
Fingers crossed, though. It does look on the upside, honestly.
At this point, it wouldn't make sense. Maybe closer to 2006, if they had ended up switching, that would have made sense. But at this point, it's almost been 20 years. Yeah. There's no point in switching out Serj Tankian. It's just going to be System of a Down the way it is forever.
I think to make fans happy, and especially you guys, to put a bow on everything. Also, because Chavo did say how there is another album they have on hold. They just haven't decided to release it yet. Either they can go ahead and release that album with like the same like HQ they had or EQ they had for the other songs they made for it and make an album from that, or just go out there and make one last one. Make one last one and tie a little ribbon on everything and go off into the sunset, really. Maybe it'd be nice to do that, but, that's up to them. I'm not them. We're not them. We can't tell them what to do, obviously. But I think, genuinely, it would make things so much better for everyone if they just put aside their differences just to do, like, those two things or something, and just everyone's happy, I think that's the issue with the band, because it's not only that with marketing. You can't market for a band that's just not around doing anything anymore. It just doesn't work as much as it would be for Korn, for example, who are still around, still touring, and still making music, and their merchandise sales, their ticket sales are off the fucking charts. So people will look at them, and I'm saying it more of a business standpoint than more of what it is, like what you guys mean, but you get the gist of what I'm doing about them. You do get the gist. I did want to bring some other news up before we did continue with the rest of this. I did want to do it. I want to start by saying that the former bassist for Spirit Box, I think it was Bill Crook, he passed away. So that is very unfortunate. I know we're when we upload this, it's in a week in advance. So if you're listening to this now, you probably already heard it. But it takes time for me to edit things. But rest in peace, Bill Crook. Spirit Box, if you don't know the band, and hopefully we will get around to them too eventually. I will be seeing them live in September. They are really cornerstone of metal. Kind of they have their place, and they're always a band are going to be there, and they're reliable. I think they're a very reliable metal band that can always be pulled out for festivals, for tours. I think, and also I do think they need a broader look on metal. I think more people need to be paying attention to them because they really have a unique voice. God, I forgot who the lead singer was. She's really talented though. I do like her. I should really figure that out more. We don't know every metal band on earth, okay? So please don't yell at us for bands we don't know. We will get to them, okay? Just give us a minute. But with that being said, it is sad that Bill Crook did pass away. I have listened to a couple Spirit Box songs before, and I was very noticeable on that, so that's very unfortunate. Another news as well, Ghost, they released 2 new music videos for off the crux of Right Here, Right Now, the movie me and Wes both saw.
Which we actually went to go see. Me and Mason, or I came up to
South Carolina.
Old South Carolina to come see Mason, and we went to go see Right Here, Right Now, which, we could talk about how we felt about it.
Right here, right now, I will say this though: they released 2 new music videos. One was already in the movie, which is Mariana Cross. They released and I thought this was the coolest thing ever. The entire music video is Scooby Doo inspired, and it has the Scooby Doo '80s themes, and they have the satanic things mixed in with as well. And I think it's the coolest thing in the world. Like, this is so cool to see an animated music video like this. It's so goofy. That's the whole point of it. I think it's great. But their new song, "The Future Is a Foreign Land," also has a follow-up music video that was not in the movie as well. So that is
I'll
a
have to go
music
check that
video.
out.
It's really nice, and it has the same Scooby-Doo feature vibe. I also really like the song as well. I love what they're doing with the band. I love the movie, and I think with the 2 songs and 2 music videos, please check those out. They are very good. On the plus side with the movie as well, box office numbers were in $5 million in earnings.
I was honestly very surprised that usually they don't all of their songs have sort of a timeless appeal, but they actually dated the song by saying it was released in 2024 as one of the lyrics, which I was kind of surprised when I heard. But honestly, it was sort of a return to the vibes that they had in, I don't know, what would you say, Infestissimum?
Yeah, I was saying Infestissimum, maybe Melora.
Yeah, maybe Melora. But they had a return from what they've currently been doing with Impera and stuff like that, and 13 Commandments and stuff, all that.
Well, it was off the back of Impera, almost. Basically, like, and I'm not spoiling, well, I guess I am spoiling much when I say this, so, spoiler alert.
I already said it's fine. Oh, yeah, you if you want to, not sponsored, but if you want to, and I'm pretty sure Ghost released the video, you can buy it or something like that.
The DVD or something like that.
Yeah, you can buy the DVD if you want at their store, or don't. We're not sponsored.
It's
Who
somewhere.
cares?
Who cares? Yeah. So, like,
find it if you want it. We're spoiling it.
We're spoiling it. So I will set this whole entire podcast is being sectioned as well. So there's a time frame in the description and in the play bar down below to where you.
Whoa! I wonder who did that.
Yeah. It's me. The Ghost movie was really good. I really like the Ghost movie, and I think it's also something to attribute with. Tobias Force has such a funny sense of humor. It is so amazing. There is one part in the movie where he gets done doing a orchestra versing of "If You Have songs, and after that he puts on this blue and yellow Rocky Balboa was it like a robe or anything like that with a hood on? He gets boxing gloves on. He starts going through the crowd back to the lead set,
and then the orchestra does like a little Rocky rendition.
It is amazing because he's over here and he's like punching some of the fans, like, you know, hands like this, like he's Rocky.
And then he immediately changes and goes right back to singing his own songs.
It is funny. Like, there is a lot of very funny bits too, especially at the end. Okay, and I'm gonna rush.
Yeah. So hold on, if I may. So I believe which Papa was it that was kind of like ghost corporeal the whole time?
Ghost Nihil, Papa Nihil, Nihil,
number it for me. Which number?
It's the old Papa. He was like basically BC.
Okay, so old Papa is talking with Papa 4, who is the one performing. It was a show done in California, and they basically just took the show, and to me they sort of added these moments in, like, later.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, like that did not all happen as seamlessly as they edited. There's no way. But they were filming these moments in between the show, so he would go off stage for a second for a costume change. He would be speaking with his mother, and then old Papa being like, usually Papas don't have a very long lifespan, maybe an album cycle or 2. And so the whole time, Papa 4 was kind of like, come on, I've been doing the job good enough for 2 album cycles. I got it. We don't really need to kill me off. Like, come on, I can keep doing it and stuff like that. And so, Mama and Muertes and
sister or something. I don't.
Oh, sister? I thought it was his mom.
It is his mom, but they call her like sister. I don't really know. It's
like a churchy kind of thing, like to be like sister, brother. So, anyways, I'm just gonna call her Mama and Muertes from now on. But Mama and Muertes was like, oh well, everyone has their time, and like alluding to the end of the film where he's like trying to accept it and stuff like that, and he's just like, I don't want to go, and she's just like, You'll know what to do when the time comes, and then spoilers. If the old Papa was like, oh well, trying to talk him into it too, and being like, hey, I had my time, and even though I had my time, I still come out and I show these guys a good time. And he had a little bit where he came alive on stage and started playing saxophone during this little chasing scene and stuff like that, which was kind of funny. And throughout the whole film, he's just like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to die. Blah blah blah. And so then he finally gets to the end of the show, and he's like, okay, I finally accept my death. It's my time to go. It's time for a new Papa to switch out. But then, in a big twist,
as walking off stage, he misses his step and face plants on the ground.
He face plants on the ground, but he's not the one who dies. He's fine. Mama Mortis is actually the one who passes on into the afterlife. And then they all get weird force ghosts. But
and the funniest part of that is, like, after the concert's over with, they're in the middle of the Coliseum in Los Angeles, and the coffin's there, or like she's on the gurney with the cloth overhead, and Papa's over here crying. He goes, and then like in the front, there's this sad music, and he's just crying over it. And the music stops, and he just like literally goes, and then just gets right back to it. And everyone in the movie theater fucking died laughing. That was the funniest scene from that whole thing. I loved that movie. I know it was just a live concert glorified, but man,
yeah, it was pretty much. But it was a fun experience.
It was funny. It was really.
And then, and then we got the reveal that Papa 4 was given the title Frata Imperator, which means brother of the Emperor. Basically meaning like he was going to be head of the clergy now instead of Mama Emeritus, because Mama Emeritus passed. And so he is now the head of the clergy, and now they were coming up with this big reveal. They open the door and you see the shadow. Papa 5 is about to come out and be released. And then the movie cuts out and you don't see it. So shout outs to
one of the most annoying cliffhangers I've ever experienced. And it's not even for like the realest movie.
Like we just watched this 2.5 hour movie and they can't even show us the Papa 5.
To hear everyone in the movie theater just go, oh, like, and everyone was like, it's like, what the
audibly
fuck?
Like,
I was so upset with that. I was like, I did not get to see the next Papa. But in all honesty, it is a smart move they did that, because I'm very excited for the next album. Very excited. So, and I think that's exactly what Tobias knows best, is how to market and how to be able to get Ghost more notoriety is what they're doing. I love the story they're telling with it. They can go so many directions, and things like this that they do. It's just genius. It is just absolutely genius. And also his storytelling too in the albums as well. And yeah, there is a little part where Tobias was, having that big issue of saying like he was the one who created the band, which he did. He did create the band. It's his idea. And then also the big legal battle he had with his other two former band members that did sue him unsuccessfully. And all of that. And honestly, this is the part where I will say Tobias Forge is the sole owner of the band. He hires the people that he wants to actually play the music, who do it. I know there are a couple other band members there who have been very long tenure with Ghost, who are still there from even the first song, especially the guitarists and everything. So really weird setup, but it's not like Slipknot where they're changing members out. Like, well, it is kind of like Slipknot where they're changing members.
It's exactly set up like Slipknot, where there's the owner of the band, and then the band members are commissioned artists, and not really like they're basically paid like a per gig as a commission sort of thing, and not necessarily an owner or proprietor of the band. It's set up exactly.
Stay on. It really just does depend, but that's not the point. It's not about the band members, like especially with Slipknot, that you do know.
I've got to say, like, as far as all that drama and stuff concerned, I'm just kind of here because Ghost makes good songs.
Yeah, and it actually works well for Ghost with training band members out, because they offer new sounds, and everyone. It really just does make the band, like, you don't have to just focus on multiple people. It can be focused on just Papa, which is the whole point of it, the main reason people watch it. So
my favorite is that one clip where he's going through and he's just like, oh man, over here we have Ghoul. And he goes over to the keyboardist and he's like, and over here on the keys we have Ghoul. And then we go over here, here's the bass guitarist, Ghoul.
It is amazing. He is a genius, and I absolutely love that band. And other news, let me get on with this before I
Mouth school, the best school. Anyways.
This is going to be something I'm so happy to talk about. I'm smiling cheek from cheek because I never thought this band in this genre would be able to do something like this. At the time of recording, it is July 26th at 12 a.m. in the morning, so obviously hasn't happened yet. The Paris Olympics are happening right now this year in 2024, and
oh my gosh, I forgot about
I
this.
had to. The opening ceremony is Lady Gaga, someone else, and Gojira. Holy shit. And that is incredible. So obviously it's the Olympics. Everyone knows what the Olympics are, and the opening ceremonies are one of the biggest things in the world. So you have Lady Gaga, of all people, but hey, whatever, and playing, especially like Gojira playing alongside Lady Gaga in the opening ceremony of the Olympics doing heavy metal. What? Like, that is unbelievable. So now, like, they pushing Gojira into
not just heavy metal, death metal,
pushing them into the mainstream media. And Gojira is one of those bands that also, like, over time, sounding a little bit softer, but it works well. So that is something also to contribute with. So the fact that Gojira is being pushed to the mainstream media and opening for the Olympics of all things, the Olympics with Lady Gaga, that is insane. They are from France and obviously Paris. That's where they're doing it with. But they are one of the biggest bands to come from France, and it is insane that they're doing this. It's like, this is so cool for the metal scene because now it brings more eyes to the metal scene. It brings more eyes to Gojira, which in my opinion deserves way more attention than what they've been giving. They are such an underrated band in my opinion. And that to me is unbelievable to say. And I think what amazing accomplishment for the band itself. They have to be so happy to be able to do that in front of their home country. That speaks so many volumes. I'm so happy for them. I'm ready to see where they're going to go from here. I'm ready to see how this is going to do for the band as well, because I know it's going to kick ass. I can't wait to watch it too.
I hope that Lady Gaga plays Wrecking Ball by Miley Cyrus.
Oh my god. I'm here for Gojira, man. I don't even give a damn about the rest of these Olympics. I'm here for Gojira. I'm gonna watch it for Gojira, and then maybe some pole vaulting when I'm done. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe.
Oh man, yeah, no. Genuinely, what an accomplishment. Even if it was any other band, you could even throw like Korn up there. I'd still be so fucking stoked just to see them do that on such a scale. What an honor. What an honor, yeah. Or even you know.
All right. Do you have any more news?
I do not. I am done.
All newsed out. All right.
So
let's go ahead and get into the review today. Today we are reviewing. I'm not. Okay.
You want me to do it? I speak German.
I know. Oh yeah, you speak German.
I speak German pretty good. I speak German. Okay. So
a little Duolingo here and there.
So for about the next 2.5 months, or however long these podcast episodes are going to be uploaded for, once we finish this band, and I'll go over how this works. We're going to be doing a review of Rammstein. They are a German industrial metal band. You probably have heard of them. Their most famous songs from like Du Hast, Son, a lot of things people have probably heard about. They're a very popular band in the UK, especially Germany.
America.
In America, they are a very popular band in America. They're a very popular band in Europe.
No, I meant the song. America.
Oh, America. And I'm pretty sure whoever is a Rammstein fan is very excited to see what we have to say about it. If they don't care, they probably will hate us forever. So in this review, how this is going to work is that each episode we will be talking about the album in question, starting from first in chronological order all the way to the very last album, most recent album they made. There will be another episode as well dedicated to singles and EPs, B-slide albums, whatever has been released that is on a side that doesn't get talked about, because sometimes they have it enough for an album review, and I feel kind of bad not going over that. And those are albums, those are like EPs and songs, depending on the band, we will get to. If a band doesn't have it, but if a band does, we will go over it. And then during the last time, or the last part of the review, that same time, we are going to be reviewing and ranking our albums from our favorite, least to the greatest, and a top 10 songs as well.
With some honorable mention, we might not go as crazy. Usually when we've been reviewing stuff, just on our own in free time. We do like 10 honorable mentions. We might just do a couple instead.
And after we're done with this band, Wes will be able to pick the band, and so forth and so forth. We're going to trade back and forth between which band does who, so he will get the one who picks.
Or we might go off of comments if you want to comment a band you want to see.
Guys. So, but
if we don't, I'm gonna pick if we don't.
That is the gist of what we're going with here. And obviously, this is my first time for the episode we make because I'm editing it.
Oh, you always remember your first time.
I remember my first time. Rammstein's my favorite band. I love Rammstein. I absolutely love this band because of their sound. I think it is way different than any other metal band I've ever heard before, and I've only listened to them like recently. This band got me to learn another freaking language, so I think that speaks volumes because I've never done it before. And I love the way they sound. I love how different they are. I love their longevity. I love the songs. I think that they are such a creative band. And also, not to mention, their concerts are one of the best live concerts you'll ever go to. Rammstein concerts are incredible concerts. If you know what I'm talking about, you probably may have seen some online of Till Lindemann blowing shit up. That's kind of that's what he does, and I think it speaks volume because Till Lindemann, I'll get into the band members real quick while I'm doing this. Till Lindemann is the lead singer. Richard Kruse is the lead guitarist. Christian Lorenz, aka Flake, is the synthesizer and keyboardist. Christoph Schneider is the drummer, and Paul Landers is the rhythm guitarist, and of course, Oliver Riedel is the bassist. Those are the band members right there. I'm pretty sure everyone has heard of them before, at least in some regards. And the concerts are really fun too because
I think you're like, no disrespect to Rammstein. I have not heard about Rammstein before you told me about them. Maybe it's just because I'm kind of new to the metal scene, but I had no idea who these people were.
That's fine. I think that's completely fine. Even like people who aren't new to metal or even probably don't know who they are, and that's fine. They have a sizable audience for what they do. They have big tours in UK, in Europe, and even sometimes in America, which I'm hoping to come back to because they are getting a little bit old. But I think it's a testament to what they are because a lot of their songs do have thought in it. They were starting their first album as well, which we'll get to in a minute. And with Rammstein, I again, it's just the sound they do. I guess it might be the language just makes for more headbanging style. I really listen to metal just to headbang too, so I really like Rammstein because they have so many cool tracks and beats that come with it. But I think that's also a really testament because Till Lindemann actually went out of his way to get a pyrotechnics license, which explains his love of explosives that he does every time. Every song on Rammstein has some kind of explosive in it if they play it live, and I think that's cool as shit.
I don't know how these guys haven't died yet. Seeing some of their clips, honestly, they're always lighting stuff on fire, lighting themselves on fire. It seems like.
So if you're a fan,
just that one where he has like the flaming cannon shooting at this tank, and the guy's like inside.
Oh, Mind Tile, yes, that was
it's just crazy, dude.
But it's
absolutely insane what they do. It's so cool. It's so cool. Dude, I love explosions and fire. It's every dude loves explosions and fire.
Michael Bay would love this band.
Michael Bay would die for this band.
He really would. But no, like there, not only like is the understanding of both music and sound really important, it is also the theatrics. Till understands that. The whole band understands that it's not just about. Which I think is also important for metal bands too. It's not just about your songs too. It's also about your presentation. It can really help you with your band and especially with what you want to do in going forth. I think it really plays a factor, and I think being able to what the band Rammstein does is that they have a different look, a different sound, and they do different things at the concert. This is why the pyrotechnics come into play because Till is very much into that, and it really helps their concert, and it really helps elevate and separate Rammstein from the rest of the group, which I think is super important for a band.
All right, enough talking about the pyrotechnics. All right, we get it. But let's talk about the music.
The first album from Rammstein is.
Let's get right into the news.
Right in the news. No, Hair's a Lie, the first album from Rammstein, the 1995 release. A little bit of information about the album just to go ahead and get some things out. The album cover is kind of weird. There's two different versions, one from Europe, one from America. Why is that the case? Well, as Till Lindemann said, he hates the album cover because it looks like they went outside and shot a gay porno. Because it's them standing behind a orange background, like a flower background, and all of them just shirtless. I don't know why, but apparently it got banned in America during the release, so they had to change it from like the neck up and like a different album thing. I don't know why that was the case, but it's separate. Still got the same songs, but that was the general gist of it. However, this is their first album. Together, they had demos and other stuff and had this album released not only in Europe but also in America. And this album really set a lot of things in motion for Rammstein. It is the earliest form of their sound. It got them a little bit of traction in America. And it was also kind of controversial, is what they were talking about, because they really talked about a lot of crazy things you wouldn't think would get discussed. But I genuinely think that this was a very good first album, and I think it really helped them stand out. And I think it really like helped them in terms of like getting more notoriety in America. It really did. So yeah, we'll get right into the album. And I guess since the entire the entire time we're talking about Rammstein, I'll probably be the one to decipher and translate things for everyone who isn't, especially the person west in the call.
I don't know a single word of German. I have no idea what any of these songs are saying. Any of my ratings of this song are based purely off of how it sounds. Which is why Mason is about to hate me right now.
I really am going to hate you.
You are going to hate me. I cannot wait to say what I have to say, though. I'm so excited to say it.
If you're a fan of Rammstein, this is probably the part where you don't want to watch the video, because I'm about to get very angry at Wes. I love this band. I think they sound phenomenal. I love Till Lindemann's growling voice at a deeper tone than most, and also I think his singing's pretty cool. It's just different. And I think Richard Krupps is an incredible guitarist all around.
So, speaking of concerts that we were going to, I mean, you said this a while ago, but I'm going to be going to Knotfest this year, and I'm actually going to see Till Lindemann in person. It's just Till Lindemann; it's not the whole band. But look out for some news on that later.
Yeah, I'm a little bit jealous. That's an understatement. All right, let's get into the first song. Let's talk about the first song. Volt.
All right, you're pronouncing this one.
I'll pronounce it. I'll pronounce it. It's Volt ihr das Bett in Flammen sehen, which means, do you want to see the bed on fire?
Okay.
That is what that means. Fucking amazing song. Fucking amazing song. It is a kick-ass song. Really gets the fucking thing in groove. Really gets the whole album in groove. And it's exactly what you expect from a Rammstein song. It is kick-ass. It is in your face. I do not care for the repetitiveness. I do not care for how it sounds overall. This is already in my top 10 favorite songs, and I will quote this from here to now because I love this song. Perfect opening to the album. Right in your face. Just everyone does their part phenomenal. Love it. Here comes Wes to ruin my day.
So, this song reminded me of Daft Punk.
Oh my god.
I'm not lying. There was something about the I don't know the exact name of the song, but the one where it's like work it better, do it faster.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, and then it goes
oh, in the opening,
better, faster, stronger. And I just got that. I know it sounds different. I know it sounds different, but I got that same vibe. And I got the same vibe with a couple other songs in this album. And I just couldn't stop laughing while I was listening to it, just thinking about
here's a reminder
about Daft Punk.
They have a little techno vibe in their songs. Why they're industrial metal. They got because Flake, the synthesizer and the keyboardist who makes that happen, is completely to blame for that. I love Volt ihr das Bett in Flammen sehen. I think it's a hardcore song.
But it wasn't the keys that made me think of that. It was the guitar. It was the electric guitar that made me think of that. It was
Richard Krupps that do.
And it's really the mix of Till Lindemann saying a few lines and then taking a measure and then saying a few lines and then taking a measure. You know what I mean?
Right.
It was just that part that I was just like, this is metal Daft Punk in my mind. And that's the vibe I got from this song. And they said Rammstein a bunch of times.
They did, and you know what? The only part of the song I'm not a fan of is the end. They do go overboard with it, but I don't care because the way the album is laid out, especially with how they started versus the end song being Rammstein, I love the way that it's laid out. I love the repetitiveness at the end. I know people don't like repetitive sometimes. I love it in this song because of just the way it's formulated, and the chords on the guitar are just so heavy and it's just right in your face. It just sounds like an explosion of just hardcore metal sounds right in your face, mixed with these really insane lyrics. And I really enjoy the song. I really genuinely do love this song. It's in my top 3 songs. I could not stop listening to it for the longest time. Also, the little shotgun noise in the minute, and it was like, oh, okay. I just wasn't expecting that, which is funny because during that song, a live performance, something actually explodes like on the stage of some regards, and I don't know what it is, but I like it. It's cool. Great song. I'm guessing you did enjoy it.
No, I enjoyed it, but for other separate reasons.
Oh, so I'm talking musically.
I couldn't stop laughing while listening to this song. I'm sorry. I just kept thinking.
Would you go back and listen to it? Is what I'm trying to get at, just for that.
Maybe we'll see. You're getting ahead of yourself. All right.
Getting ahead of myself. All right. Der Meister, which means the master.
Thought the same thing a little bit, but I'm gonna steal something that you told me a bit ago. I asked what vibe you got while you listened to Rammstein, and you said that you got the vibe that like they were building their music encapsulates like a giant tank, and it just keeps chugging along, and it's heavy, it's intense. This song is a tank, dude. Let me tell you, this is like when that chorus comes in, you're just like, oh, just like getting out of your seat, shaking your head. This is the headbanging music that you were talking about, is what I believe the song.
It is a really good song. I think, especially the chords in this song, the dun 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 dun.
Yeah, it's just really hard. It's just really out here. This is industrial metal.
Yeah, I like Richard Cruz. I think he does a fantastic job in this, and I'll get to another one later. Der Meister's a really good song. I'm glad you actually did enjoy that because I really do like that song, especially because the second one. It's not one I go back to often, but I still think it's pretty good. The next one, Weißes Fleisch, which means white flesh. Fucking banger song. I love this song so much. The guitar solo in the middle part that was after I think Till Lindemann does that big scream. I'm trying to find where he does some part in the song where he just goes like he says like Augen or something like that. I don't remember what it was, but no, Der Weißes Fleisch, da Morta. I can't say it as much. There's a part in like the later end of the song where he screams really loud, and then there's a nice solo Richard Cruz does, and it's really good. And the opening that Flake does, the do 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 do, and it like increases. Great song. Love the guitars. The bass also was really good too. I don't know if I noticed that, but I think the bass really stood out in this song. I really like this song. Really good. Really good.
Yeah.
Gotta say.
Yeah.
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 Care to add to that?
I already said my piece about this song.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
You didn't like it, did you?
Not really.
Oh.
I think the keyboard kind of does it in for me. I know you said it was just like part of their style and stuff like that, but I wasn't as much of a fan of the song.
All right. You can't win them all, I guess. Ash zu Ash, which is Ash to Ash.
Dude. Ash zu Ash.
Ash to Ash.
This song is awesome. This song is banging.
It is pretty
it's
good.
Upbeat. It sounds hard. It's out there. This song is just fire. I love this song.
I'm so glad you fucking like it. I'm smiling right now. I'm genuinely like so happy that you like at least some of these songs.
Hey! Before we start this, okay, so I had listened to a few songs by them that he recommended, and I was like, I don't know if it's really for me and stuff like that. I reserved the right to change my mind, okay? And I'm not saying it's changed yet, but I really do like Ash to Ash.
Ash to Ash is a great song. I really like this album a lot. There is not many songs on here I don't even like. I don't think there's even a single song here I just don't like. I genuinely don't. But there's like songs I don't go back to as often on the album because I like listen to the others. So I guess that's like the bottom. But I don't hate them. I think they all sound really good for an album like this. Ash to Ash is really cool. They do a really cool part where they have a fan. They release a bunch of like red powder mist to the crowd, and then the microphones on Richard Cruz and Paul Landers just light on fire. Genuinely, I don't understand why they do that, but fuck it, it's cool. Yeah, Ash to Ash is a pretty good song.
Their brand. It's their brand.
It's their brand. Ash to Ash isn't a song I go back to a lot, but you know what? It's a really good song. Love the guitars, and again, I think
really
Till does a great job on it. And the next one.
No, hold on.
Okay.
It's my turn to pronounce something.
All right.
So, track number 5, Seaman.
Okay, yeah. Which means
it's
sailor.
literally spelled Seemann.
Which
it's seaman.
In German means sailor.
Mm-hmm. It does in America too. It's a seaman.
Yep. Yeah, that's yeah.
This came so far out of left field.
Yes, it really is.
But it's so good at the same time. I was just like, when I was listening to this song, I was thinking like, what happened? Like 2 seconds ago, I was like banging my head at this industrial metal, and then we get this like soft, soothing song by Till Lindemann, and I'm just like, what is happening with this album right now?
It is really like, this is where I think the album separates itself right here from between one half to the other. It is a really change of pace because it is very soft and it sparks really like interesting into this hardcore guitaring that goes on, and I think that's super cool. And I think it's really interesting, honestly, that they went with this route. I really like this song. I did not like it at first when I first heard about it. Then it came around to me. I was like, actually, it's really not that bad. There is a funny thing. I'll go ahead and get my immaturity out of the way. The first lyric of the song is "Come in my boat," which means "come in my boat." When I first heard it, I thought it said seaman, and I thought he was going "come in my balls," and I was like, "What, dude?" Like I was thrown through a loop. I was like, "All right."
I mean, the track is named Seaman, so
a lot of like German viewers right now are like, it says sailor. What the fuck's wrong with you? Like, nah, it's just different meaning for us. We think of it differently. Honestly, though,
we're very dumb and childish. Thank you.
This is one of the songs I don't go back to often on the album. I'm not gonna say it's my least favorite song on the album, but I still think it's pretty good for what it is, and I think it's really interesting. I like the pacing on it, so it's definitely there for me. Next one, Du Ri So Gut. It's actually the most played song on this album. 163 million plays on YouTube TV, YouTube Music, which also translates to "You smell so good." I don't know why, but I really like this song. I like the weird like techno vibe, the do 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 do, the "Du Ri So Gut." I don't know. I really like that part. So it's a pretty good song. I like it.
It's definitely not my favorite. I think it's all right. I don't really have much to say about the song. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I like the song. It was actually one of the first songs I heard from Harris Live before I got really into Rammstein, and I thought it was really cool to out there. Just a weird techno vibes, and just I don't know, it's more of a vibey song for me. Das alte Leid, which means the old sorrow.
This song is weird because it's like a slow burner. Not necessarily hating on the song, but slower Rammstein is a vibe I wasn't expecting whenever I play this song.
I do really like the opening riffs to it, the doo-doo, I really like that opening riff about it, and the rest of the song is pretty good, especially when he starts screaming, which is funny because there's a part where he screams "Ich will ficken," which means "I want to fuck," and he screams it so loud. And now hearing about it too, when I actually look back at the song, I think it's hilarious that he says that out loud. But the song overall, especially the screaming and the guitar, is really good. But then there's this one part that I just can't stand. Flake has a solo part somewhere within the middle of the song, and I don't like it. It's this weird, like, because they're playing the guitars, Paul and Richard both, and they sound pretty good. Like, okay, here comes the bridge, and then Flake comes here and goes, and I'm like, man, just don't do that. Like, I don't know why he did it. I like Flake. I love his solos. I love what he does. This was not it for me, Chief. Did not enjoy it as much as you think I did. And that sucks. But, I mean, overall, song's not bad. I like it, but it's just that one part that pisses me off.
I got you.
Next one. Okay, I can't pronounce it too well. Excuse me when I say it. Harata Mish, which means marry me.
The song is fine and everything. What was that ending? There's just like there's like 30 seconds of just like this weird, like toned down kind of murky atmosphere, which I guess is kind of cool. But then at the end, he lets out a scream that honestly, it just reminded me of like a Lego Star Wars death sound. Like I just kept thinking of like the Lego Yoda death sound meme or whatever.
Fuck. That's the best part of that whole song. And you know what? The song's actually not that bad. I can't get
the song is whatever in my mind compared to this Lego Star Wars death scream.
Next song, Hair's Allied, which means heartache, title track. I know you're not going to like it. I know that the lyrics at the first start sound so disorganized, but the only reason I like this song a lot is that screaming that he does where he actually screams out Hair's Allied. I think it's so fucking cool. And I actually think other parts where he goes, Hair's Allied, I think it's actually really good. Opening lyrics, really weird and all over the place, but I do like the screaming.
I'm just like not a fan at all of this song.
You
were like totally right.
I kind of figured that. I kind of figured that you wouldn't like that as much, but it's the screaming that does it for me. It's what it is, though. Next one, Light Sight, which means spawning time.
I think this song is my least favorite of the album.
No.
And it's gotta be for the keyboard. It's just too.
Are you fucking hating on Flake?
I totally am. I'm sorry. I just
no Flake.
I couldn't get into this song.
Flake disrespect in my fucking video. No Flake disrespect. I can edit this out.
Are you gonna edit this out?
No, because then I look like a pussy.
Yeah, because you are one. I don't really like this song. I'm sorry. You can't change my opinion on that.
I really like this song a lot. I love the light side. I don't know. I think it's a bop song, and I like the keyboarding on it, so whatever. That's your opinion on it. Light Side's fucking awesome, in my opinion, and that means spawning time, I would say. And then the last song on the album, Rammstein, which I think ties very well with the first song. Don't know why they did their band name as the end track, but whatever. So, Rammstein. This was a very popular song, I think, and it was also featured in, I think one of the biggest reasons why they got big in America, this was actually featured in a movie. They used the instrumentals from the movie for like a very popular song that had a bunch of new metal bands in it, and this was one of the songs. This is also a song where Till Lindemann has a jacket and lights himself on fire. So, because he can. Because
that's his favorite.
It's his favorite thing. I fucking love this song. It has such kick-ass heavy guitaring in it, and I know it's not like really good lyrics like this because he goes Rammstein, and then like he does that all the time. But man,
it is kind of like, even just listening to it the first time, it is kind of. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, it is kind of. Shut up. The editing Mason edited that out. All right, so I'm just gonna say that 400 times in the episode to keep up with all this stuff. What I did want to say was, before I interrupted myself, is that it is kind of instantly iconic. Like, even just listening for the first time. Maybe it's just because it's their name and stuff like that. It gives me back. It reminds me of Pluck from System of a Down, because I mean, they say the name, pretty much the name of the band in the chorus and stuff like that in the last song of the album, of their first album. So it's like pretty much exact. I don't know which came out first. Honestly, this album might have come out first. Yeah, 1995. Yeah,
it did.
Yeah, so this one came out first, but they have the same vibe. And honestly, I think it's kind of a fire way to end off the album.
Yeah, I agree. I actually really like the song, really, because Richard carries that whole song because that chord that he plays is so hard, and it's just really like intense. As is the da 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 da. I just it sounds so intense and imitating and menacing. Something about it, man. Just it's just so cool. Just so cool to hear. My ear fucking But I really like the song. I think it's a kick-ass way to end the album. I think it sounds good. I think the chords are good. I even like the fact that he repeats Rammstein over and over again because it's different things that he is putting on, like different lyrics. And his just yelling on it's like really good. So, my opinion. You didn't.
And
did you
what?
like?
I talked about it. What we?
I didn't know. I thought you just didn't like the song. Like I thought you just.
I talked first.
I thought you meant like in terms of the other ones. Okay, all right. Yeah.
All right. Let's move on and talk about top three.
So this is,
we kind of do it as whoever likes the album more goes last. So I'm gonna go first because he definitely likes it more. And I'm gonna give an honorable mention to Harate Mish. Just because of the the scream is just so funny. So I didn't mean to break you. I'm sorry.
I can't stop laughing at the fucking scream because now every time I'm gonna think of that the entire fucking time I hear it now, and it's so funny. I don't know why it's so funny to me. Okay.
All right. So number 3, I'm gonna put Der Meister.
Yep.
And then number 2, I'm gonna put Seaman. I really enjoyed that song. And number 1 is Ash to Ash. Love Ash to Ash.
Fucking banger. Yeah, that's a good song. Fair enough. Honorable mention every song on the album except for my top 3. If I had to put an honorable mention, I really couldn't put as much in there.
You could put Erase Mish.
Erase Mish, I could. I would say, God, it'd be like, if I could do it a type, it'd be Rammstein and Dulrich So Gut, probably. I would say that'd probably be my tie for what they are. But anyways, number 3 is Leichzeit. I don't care. I love that song so much. Fucking banger. Number 2 is okay. Fucking okay. Number 2 is Weiss's Fleisch. Fucking love that song. It's so fucking cool. And number 1 is Voltaire das Bandes Flammenzimmer. I fucking love that song. Great song to open up the album, and I just can't get over me. There you go. Here's the Lied. That is completed and done. So, whoop-de-doo.
All right.
So, and the next one you will be hearing is their second album and their most famous album, Sehnsucht, which expect that next time. So, there's a little game that I want to be able to play because this is going to help me in the shorts feed. All right, so this is why this is here. But genuinely, I do want to play.
I'm going to be so bad at this.
We're going to be really bad.
All
right. This is going to be band members. There is also, by the way, there is bands we have done this type of thing for, like Rammstein, before. This is why the podcast was started, because we did do this before, and that's why we did it. So there are other bands.
Really, why it started is because we were doing an album review in a call, and I think it was Gogler or
one of our friends.
No, it was. I remember.
It was our friend Jose.
Yeah. We were just like in a call talking about that and whatever album we were doing, and he was just like, this is like a TV show right now. Like, he was awestruck just like us talking about an album, and he's like, you guys should do a podcast. And then we did. So there you go.
Yeah, the funny thing with all that, though, is that we have already done this for a lot of bands, and I mean a lot of bands. And I want to be able to talk about it. Also, another news thing as well. Congratulations to Slaughter Prevail doing the biggest wall of death. That looked fucking cool. Want to give that a shout out because Alex Terrible is a fucking badass.
And also shout out to the new mask that he released. It's kind of
Yeah,
like
that
the
mask looks cool
more
as
like
shit.
more like bone mask with like these spiky teeth and like blood splatters all over it. It's kind of sick.
It's so cool. But the other thing why is that there's other bands we want to talk about. I mean, obviously he's wearing a Korn shirt. I'm wearing a Sleep Token shirt. If you want us to talk about these bands, we will do a mini review of them if possible. We will like splice in both Rammstein review or whatever band review with this band as well. And
Or if we do multiple episodes a week, then maybe we have like a main band when we'll have like side album reviews on the off day of the week.
we can go many
But
ways with this. I'm
I don't
thinking
know.
about maybe.
We're trying to figure things out right now. We're gonna stick with Rammstein for a little bit, because somebody has been waiting for a long time to do Rammstein, and I won't say who, and it's totally me, but we won't say it.
I will say, I plan on if it, I don't mind doing like a Sleep Token review for like half an episode just to talk about them and just get some things off with them. I totally don't mind. I don't mind doing it for other things. I don't mind doing it for Korn, System of a Down, Rage Against the Machine. I don't mind doing it for any band that we have already previously talked about. If you're interested, like Sleep Token, like the next episode, we'll probably talk about them again, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, and we're just throwing that out there. I'm going to probably be working on a video documentary as well for Sleep Token as well, as a actual video on the side that we're going to upload fully edited and everything. But that's just something I want to throw out. And besides that point, there is another thing we wanted to do. There is another thing for the shorts that you want to do. We're going to give each other 60 seconds to guess the band member. And the only way that they can do that is not by guessing the band, but by guessing the appearance of what they're from. Basically general questions. So Wes is going to go, then I'm going to go. They'll have 60 seconds on the clock to be able to guess the band member that we are talking about through physical features, anything that anything of the sort. And I already got mine in place.
All right.
I'll let you think for a minute.
I mean, I'm going first, so it's cool.
First. Okay.
I'll think of one in a minute.
Okay. So all right. You ready?
All right, go.
60 seconds start now.
Okay, so are they a guitarist?
Yes.
Okay. Do they also sing?
No.
Okay, so is it from the band we just reviewed?
No.
Okay, cool. I didn't know their names yet. Are they from a well-known band or kind of niche?
Well known.
New metal?
Yes. 30 seconds
Okay.
block.
Mick Thompson.
Incorrect.
Crap.
Physical features, anything you got.
Are they Caucasian?
Kind of. He's mixed.
Do they have dreads?
No.
Um.
5, 4, 3.
Is it Joe Duplantier?
Incorrect. No. The answer was Tom Morello.
Tom Morello. Okay.
It's Tom Morello.
I didn't ask enough questions.
No.
I just kind of blanked there.
I mean, I felt like they gave it away because he was a guitarist, and then you asked if he was Caucasian. I'm like, no, he's mixed. I don't know if you knew that. No, you didn't know. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, Tommy.
Tommy boy.
Sorry, Tommy man.
Now, if you thought
All right,
that
let's
he did
see.
bad, wait until you see what I do next.
All right. I want to pick something that you actually know instead of being a dick.
I reviewed Rage Against the Machine. I thought that was fine for you. All right. Well.
No. I was gonna choose one of the good old people from Swollen Teeth.
Fuck if
just
I
to really, yeah, I know. I mean, it's okay. This might be evil, but I'm gonna do this. Okay. Hold on. Oh, I forgot. Let me get a timer real quick.
Okay.
So it's just 1 minute, right?
1 minute.
Okay.
I'll cut this whole thing out, by the way.
I'm sure you will. Okay, we're gonna go on my phone because
That's what I did.
it's not wanting to work. So, editing Mason, insert photorealistic penis onto the screen right now.
No,
Boom. There we go.
I'm not doing that.
Cock and balls. Boom, right there. Is it up there? All right, thank you for
man.
putting it up there. Timer. There we go. 1 minute on the clock. All right. 1 minute on the clock.
Okay.
This is evil. That I'm giving you a hint. What I'm doing is evil.
Okay.
That's the only hint that you get.
All right.
All right, go.
Is he a drummer?
Yes.
Is it Mario Duplantier?
No.
Is it Joey Jordison?
No.
New metal?
No.
Death metal?
No.
Is it from Rammstein that we're reviewing right now?
No.
John Damalian?
No.
Damn it. All right. Is it from Korn? Is he from Korn?
No.
No. Oh my God. Oh, I'm trying to think. Is it Brad Bope?
No.
Is he known for being? Is it Two from Sleep Token?
You're thinking too much about this. No.
No, it's not Two from Sleep Token. Okay. John Damalian, Mario Duplantier, Two from Sleep Token.
You're gonna hate me so much.
I'm gonna hate you so much. Is it
10 seconds.
Jay Weinberg?
No.
I don't know. This is way harder than it looks. Oh God, I should ask.
4, 3, 2, 1.
I don't know.
Okay, so here's why it's evil. I was trying to get you to guess any ghoul. Yes.
do that.
And then you got hung up on drummers. I'm sorry.
Don't fucking no. That doesn't count. No. Give me a better one.
I should have said kinda.
Give me a better one than that. That accounts for so many fucking bands. That was evil.
I told you it was evil.
You
didn't, and then you were thinking too much about it. I gave you 2 hints.
The evil doesn't like tell me like it's a fucking ghoul from Ghost. Like,
all right. Let me think of someone else. Okay. All right. I got my right here. Okay.
Right here. All right.
All right. Ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Start.
New metal.
Yes.
90s.
Yes.
Is he a bassist?
No.
Is he a lead singer?
No.
Is he a guitarist? Lead guitarist?
No.
Is he a drummer?
No.
What? Is he a rhythmic guitar? Not the lead.
No.
What the fuck? That's every fucking position you could be for a fucking band. I don't know. Is he Flake from Rammstein?
No.
Synthesizer? Is it DJ Lethal?
Yes, it's DJ Lethal.
DJ Lethal. All right, I kind of think I was like, fuck, anything other than like a guitarist. You nearly had me there because I was thinking
you're like, what the hell?
I was like, are you? Well, I think that concludes today's episode on the first ever Mosh Pit Metal podcast. Now, since this is out and the cat's out of the bag, anyone who is feel free to tell us what we want to do for the next review, any questions, anyone you want to fill in, give us your thoughts on what you want to do, any kind of, if you want to talk about a band.
Comment, Mason is really, really cool if you got this far in the video.
Yeah, if you did.
And then, like, reply to that comment with, in parenthesis, JK, LOL, end parenthesis.
If you want to do that, that's fine.
If you got this far in the video and you don't do this, you're not a real one. And if you are a real one, tag yourself.
Genuinely, anyone who did watch this video, we really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for being able to stick along and obviously comment, like, subscribe, tell us if you're friends about us, just saying, hey, these guys do really cool metal reviews, and that's what we do. And feel free by all means. We will try to respond to comments if we can, and we'll be able to filter what we want and whatever we want us to do. And at that point, I think we got to see you in the next video. See you guys.
Peace.